This is Congressman LaMalfa for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Vibert, when you talk about the 500 CFS that's required to, what stream, what river was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Say that again.
The 500 CFS that's required year-round, you were saying?
That's, right now, under our HCP, we are ramping up to eventually what will be 500 CFS over a course of I believe it, I'm not fairly, I think it's over the next 3 years.
And
By year 3, we're at 100 right now during the winter.
Okay. What river is this on?
This is on the Deschutes River,
Okay.
the upper Little Deschutes.
Now,
Yes.
is there a dam on that above?
The reservoirs. There's Crane Prairie, which has now been set aside strictly for spotted frog nursery, and then Wickiup below that, and then it flows into the Bend area before it passes through to me down in the lower Deschutes.
So the water running down the river is not being stored, so are those reservoirs getting full?
No.
They don't fill anymore?
No, and we will never fill again, because if you do the numbers, if you look at my written testimony, I believe by year 5, we have the frog will be allotted 187,000 acre feet, and our reservoir holds 200,000. So anybody with a cork brain and a glass eye could tell you it's not going to work.
We have similar on the Klamath and on the
Yes.
Trinity, too.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
I feel for you.
The farmers I feel for there, as well as the generation of electricity. In the Weyerhaeuser versus Fish and Wildlife case a while back here, it was, the court had ruled that Fish and Wildlife and NIMS may withhold from designating areas as critical habitat if the economic impacts outweigh the benefit to the species. So run with that a little bit. Okay, I need to shift gears here. On FEMA flooding lead up, we've got a dire housing shortage in California. So for Administrator Coit and Director Williams, permitting has already been required to go through extensive ESA procedure in California. Is there anything you can see there's no longer the ability to utilize the letters that are supposed to allow development to go forward in the interim? Do you see anything, Administrator or Director, that is going to allow those agencies to signal that FEMA can proceed with their letter reviews while the agencies investigate the program? So would you consider something similar to a compliance agreement while FEMA works with NOAA and Fish and Wildlife to figure out if there's an actual adverse impact?
This is Janet Coit. I'll start with the answer there. I know that's an issue of concern, and I appreciate you raising it. As you note, FEMA is the action agency and the party with whom we are consulting on that. I do not have a specific answer for the question you just posed about the compliance agreements, but I'm aware of
Is that something you can work with us on a little bit?
I will look into it and get back to you directly on that.
Thank you. Director Williams, anything on that?
Congressman LaMalfa, I'm very happy to work with you on that, but I believe really that NOAA has been the lead agency there. I'm happy to work with you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wood's testimony, you referenced a PERC study. It says the recovery rate for species that the Fish and Wildlife has predicted recover is about 4%. I'm not sure where 99% was coming from earlier. Is this an accurate percentage for the recovery of species your agency believed would recover?
Yes. What that gets at is the species the service predicted time wouldn't be the constraint, that they predicted would recover by 2023, and our success at recovering those species is no better.
Okay, let me direct that to Ms. Williams too, please.
Congressman LaMalfa, can you ask that question again? As far as, would you ask that question?
Was the 4%, is that as brought out in the PERC study, that the recovery for species Fish and Wildlife predicted would be 4%. So is that an accurate number? Do you agree with?
Congressman LaMalfa, the 3% of what I think that PERC is correct in the number of species delisted, but then again, the 99% of the species that have not gone extinct. And I am aware of Mr. Wood's chart on the trajectory of recovery of species. And I think that it's very accurate that many species, that recovery is a trajectory and it's a continuum, and it doesn't happen overnight due to a number of factors, whether it's climate, habitat fragmentation, habitat loss, disease, overutilization of the species.
All right, thank you. My time has flown by. I yield back, Ms. Chairman.
Mr. McGazino, you're recognized.